Good evening, everybody. You know, running a small business and getting it started is a lot like putting a puzzle together, and the pieces need to fit. We need to do more than just have the puzzle, but we have to figure out how they go together. Sometimes we twist and turn and do a lot of things before it really works. But one of the major puzzles when you're first getting started is learning about budgeting. How can I keep some cash flow coming in, and what are my anticipations? And when you're first getting started, I know right up front, and let's just say it up front, we're going to have to do a lot of guessing, a lot of estimating, a lot of forecasting to try to do the best to avoid pitfalls and unexpected expenses. So together, working together and sharing, we can all get started in putting together a good business plan and budget and get started. I know I've had 6 or 7 businesses of my own through the years. Right now I'm operating two of them, and have done so for over 60 years. I've enjoyed it. Over 2,000 employees, so I've had a lot of experience in many different types of businesses. So it's good to get to know y'all, and I'm certainly looking forward to helping you any way I can with tips and information. So our focus tonight is creating business plans and a budget. And my name is Steve Carver. I'm in Dunn, North Carolina, which is over on Interstate 95 in the coastal plain of North Carolina. I'm 45 miles east of Raleigh, about 100 miles west of the coast, about 4 hours east of Asheville, 3 hours east of Charlotte. So and I've traveled all that area through the years with a lot of different enterprises and interests. So we got a lot in common in North Carolina, and oftentimes we have out-of-state folks join our webinars, and you're always welcome if you're one of those tonight. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, just a fellow who's been in business for 67 consecutive years and counting. Still in business today. I did business with folks in 5 or 6 different states today, and certainly prepared webinars and lessons for you folks. So I know what it is to work hard. I've always had at least 2 or 3 jobs. I know what long hours are, and I love it. I am not complaining. I love doing business, and I'm going to do it as long as my health will allow me to do so. I look forward to working with y'all. The main thing I do is offer free advice, and it comes based on my experiences, and that advice always will start out with me saying, get a second or a third opinion before you make a major decision in your life or your business. That's going to affect your security or the well-being of yourself or your family. And we are so lucky in North Carolina to have the Small Business Center organization that has an office at every one of our community colleges. And the small business centers are at the community college, not to be there for the college students, even though they're welcome to enjoy the services, but they're located there so that the offices can be convenient to you all over the state. Now, we're sponsored tonight by the Small Business Center at James Sprott Community College over in Kenansville, Warsaw region of Dublin County and Greene County, in that area around there. If you are in that area, I want to really encourage you to get in touch with Joy Wynn. Joy is the director there at James Sprott Community College. Her office is in Warsaw, and she is just looking forward to helping you any way she possibly can move your business to the next level or help you with any way that she can. Please listen to me. Working with small business centers is like having an extra employee, confidential professional person that's not charging you a penny, and if anything is giving you thousands of dollars worth of good advice and opening doors for you. I can't speak enough of what great work these centers do after having worked with them for over 19 years. I serve them as a special counselor, expert on certain subjects with different people that come to them, and they have a network throughout the state of folks like me who have expertise in certain areas, and we serve them and serve you in the process. If you're not in the Dublin County area around Kenansville or Warsaw, and would like to be in touch with your small business center, just let me know. Send me an email. My email address is there in chat. Drop me an email. Let me know about you and how to get in contact. And I'll be glad to, make sure you give me your address. I'll be glad to introduce you to the small business center closest to you. And they're looking forward to it. It's going to be open arms to do that. We certainly look forward to working with you. In each one of my classes, you'll get in advance, if you registered at the Small Business Center, you'll get in advance an email that's got what I call study guides. And this is information files about the class we're going to give tonight. And with this class tonight, there was 10 study guides available for you. If you did not get them, I will email them to you tomorrow. Make sure you go to chat. Make sure you type in your email address. Look at it real carefully, because one character out of line, it won't go through. So please give me your name and your city and your email address, and I'll make sure you're plugged into the system. You'll get all the free advice, free study guides, and I'll send you reminders before each one of the webinars. So certainly look forward to working with you. When you do get the study guides, the one that starts out with a number like 1269, that's my presentation number. And if you want to print one out, so you have something good to make notes on, that's the one I suggest you print out for the class, because it's got all the talking points. It makes note taking very, very easy. So the study guides are coming to you. So this is the second presentation in an 8-part series. I'm so glad you're on board tonight, because I want to go steady with you for the next 7 Monday nights, tonight plus 6 Monday nights. Get you involved in this course. This is a course study where at the end of the course you can graduate. You can get certificates of graduation into the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. You get certificates of completion, course completion from the community college by attending the classes. And of course, we've got some qualifications you have to do. So the classes tonight, we're going to be talking about business planning and budgeting. Next week is a real exciting class that I've given for a number of years. We call it Pricing Our Products and Services. It gives you an in-depth look at how to go about approaching pricing. It can be quite difficult and very challenging, especially if you haven't done it before. And whether it's service or parts or different types of products, cars, furniture, hairstylists, pricing is complicated. It's a moving target. And, I think always people say how much they enjoy the pricing webinar, and look forward to inviting all of you coming through. I see that Kelly is saying that she's having trouble hearing me. Mary, let me ask you if you're still there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for answering back. Kelly, you might just try to sign off and sign back on, or turn your volume up wide open, because I did get a report from one of our classmates so they can hear me okay. So maybe you can find a way. Glenda says she can hear us okay too. Y'all, thank you so much for being active there. So joining these classes, we're going to have a lot of communicating back and forth, and I'm going to encourage y'all to talk to each other in chat and on Facebook. So one of the key ingredients to making this all work is for you to find me on Facebook. Listed as Steve Carver or Anthony Stephen Carver. Please go there, send me a friend message. Some way or another, I know you're there, so we can connect and hook up. And you'll just be amazed at how much we can accomplish during the next couple of months by working back and forth with Facebook. I'll show you different ways to increase the number of friends and followers that you have there. And my friends, that means make more money. The more followers you have, the more people you can work with at Facebook. It's a good thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not a great big fan of everything that Facebook does. As a matter of fact, I've got some serious problems with them. But when it comes to teaching classes and working for you guys, I know, because it's worked for me and my businesses through the years, they've got a good product that is really good for startup businesses and folks learning how to get into marketing. Excuse my voice. I've had about a year of allergies, and sometimes my voice gets weak, so I'm working through it, and I appreciate y'all's patience with me. So I want to tell you that wherever you are in your business life and wherever you are basically in your personal life, I know at 79 years old that we all are made for so much more than we're doing. All of us are operating at a lower capacity than we are capable of. So I was made for so much more. I don't want you to give up on me. I'm going to keep pushing, try to improve my product and my presentation and give more help and understanding to folks. I'm going to try to be a better disciple and live a better life and encourage other folks to do that well. But I want you to know that don't give up on me, and I won't give up on you. Let's work together and make our businesses and our lives as rewarding and fruitful and helpful to everyone else as we possibly can. That's the way we operate here with mutual helpfulness. I know I offer you a lot. It's kind of like coming to a family reunion or a potluck dinner. There's going to be a lot of information spread out in front of you in all these webinars. And I know you can't absorb all this stuff in a 1.5 or 2 hour period of time, but I'm going to lay it out there. And then I'm going to give you the study guides, and I'll give you the videos that if you really want to dive in and just get a lot of information and jumpstart your business skills, it's going to be here for you. I don't want you to go at any faster pace than you want to, but my job is to motivate and put the information out there. Your job is to absorb as much of it as you can, and we'll move forward, and let's have some fun. I'm enjoying this. I get my greatest gratification by meeting you, new folks, and then working with you through the years. We've got some folks on board with us tonight, Key and Mary and Edna, that I've been working with for, I guess, 7 or 8 years now, and these relationships are very, very important to me, and I'm referring other folks to them all the time and sharing information and helping each other. We'll keep up with attendance. This was our attendance from our first class last week. A lot of you are back. Matter of fact, most of you are back, and we're certainly glad to have you. I do notice down here that at the bottom of the list, William, Teresa, and Kia couldn't stay with us very long, and I have to have y'all on board with me about an hour to get credit for your attendance. So again, if you have to go and come back and such as that, stay logged in, and that can give you the number of minutes that I can qualify you for attendance. Attendance is important because the more you attend, the more eligible you are for different certificates. And also, while you're over there at Facebook, find the page for the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. You'll see a lot of pictures of our history, folks that have been real busy with the Academy. And next week, I'll start recognizing the regular attendees that are coming back for class during this course, looking up different items about your business and what you're up to and things you share with us. And we'll start promoting each other and getting to know each other a whole lot better. So thank you so much for being here. All right, let's work out these fingers, okay? Let's do a little chatting. Let's start learning a little bit about each other and get some things. What's your favorite dessert? Yeah, it's supper time. What's your favorite dessert? My favorite dessert is blueberry cobbler. I love blueberry cobbler and banana pudding. So those are my two favorites. And it's kind of important that you share with your class at home. Well, here comes an apple pie. Thank you, Kia. There's an apple pie and a cheesecake. Come on, write them on there and get your fingers working, because we're going to be doing more and more of this as we go along. Cherry cheesecake. Raymond, that sounds wonderful. I don't know that I ever had one of those, but I'll do that. Just plain yogurt for Frank. Way to go, Frank. I like yogurt too. Everybody likes a good dessert. Well, I want to be the dessert in your business life. I want you to say, tomorrow I had a great feeding of information, and it was just like having dessert, because it's coming to me free. It's coming from me in a lot of goodwill, and most important, I'm learning with a great group of classmates who are in the same boat I am. The great thing about our classes here, you know what, we have everything from GEDs to PhDs, and everyone is welcome. Tonight we have doctors with us, we have CPAs with us, we have mobile mechanics, we have teachers and educators, and it just goes on and on and on. These classes are a real wonderful mixture of entrepreneurship, and so glad to do it. You are definitely my dessert at the end of the day. Salted caramel ice cream with hot fudge. Kelly, you're killing me. Oh my gracious, I don't have to go to the Sugar Shack and get me one of those. That sounds wonderful. But again, let me tell you, I can make a pretty good blueberry cobbler. I made my first one earlier this year. It worked out real well. And I take that vanilla wafer box and put together a pretty darn good banana pudding too. My mama used to make banana puddings for me, and she would always include bananas in it, of course. All right, let's go to another subject. When you're sleeping, when you go to bed at night after a long, busy day, and I know you've all had those, when you go to bed tonight, do you want a room that's kind of chilly? Do you want a room that's totally quiet, blacked out, no lights? Or you like a little background noise, or you leave the TV on? Dark and quiet, or noisy, cool? Tell me about the bedroom style you like. How do you rest well? How do you rest well? Yeah, put it on in there. Tell me how would you answer that? No noise, cool and dark. There you go. Good answers. Jessica's dark with background noise. How about that? Everybody's a little different, aren't they? Well, you know what? In business, all of our customers will be a little bit different. And we need to know more about our customer as we hope to have a relationship building through the years with them. It's more about that almighty dollar, friends. It's learning about people. And these are the kind of questions and the conversations you can have that ain't got anything to do with business, but have everything to do with you learning about your customers, so the next time you talk to them, you'll have a better understanding of maybe where they're coming from. So now we've had a good night's sleep, and it's time to get up in the morning. Now the question is, when you get up in the morning, do you just get up, throw the covers back, and leave the bedroom? Don't worry about a thing, because when you come back, you're just going to crawl back in and get back under those same covers. So why make the bed up? Or are you one of those folks that when I get up in the morning, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make that bed up and I'm going to put it back together? So which is it with you? Make it up or walk away? Which is it? And do you do it every morning? How about that? How about some answers for that? And this one's getting a little bit more important, because I don't make an important. Jessica walks away from it. The heck with it. I'll find it when I get back there, right? And we got one that says we don't make it up every day. We got a lot of maker-uppers here. Well, how about that? So what's it all about? So now, if you do make it up, do you make it up nice and neat and tight? Do you really straighten it up, or you just throw it back together? Nice and neat and tight, or you just throw it together? Glenda says she tightens that sucker up, no doubt. Makes it look really tight. Somebody else, I need some more answers here. Neat and tight, or just throw it back together? Okay, very good. Make it up neat and tight. Well, I got a lot of they throw it back together. There's Raymond. Raymond comes in. We're just throwing that sucker back together. So what is that all about? What is that all about? Well, I was in the Coast Guard, and in the Coast Guard, like I understand in all military services, when you go to boot camp, that's part of the deal now. When you, not only do they roust you out of bed at all weird hours early in the morning, but when you get out of bed now, you turn around and you make up your bed. You make up that bunk. You make it up so tight that the sheets are tight and the pillowcases are tight. And if you flip a quarter up, that quarter's supposed to hit that sheet and bounce up. That's how tight it's supposed to be, like a trampoline. So what is that all about? Well, a couple of years ago, I heard a retired Navy captain talking about troop training and different methods and things, and he was asked that question. And he said that's one of the most important aspects of military training. is getting the recruits to make those beds up every day and do it first class perfect. And he used for the reason that if we can get up in the morning and accomplish a goal and do it first class, and we can turn around and look at what we've done and said, my day's off to a good start. I've taken this project, I've done it just right. I can walk away from this bedroom knowing that I've done it right, and now I'm going to go on and through my day continuing to do things right and tight. And you know what? I think there's a lot of good logic to that. I still do it every morning is when my feet hit the floor and I turn around, I go ahead and make that bed up and then walk around it and tighten things up and make sure it's done right. And I say to myself, okay, I got one thing done today and I did it just right. Okay, you folks that are walking away from it, give that a try in the morning, see if it makes a difference. You may be so far set in your ways, you're not going to give it a try, but you might be surprised what you get out of it. In this series, I like to do quotes to remember from famous folks that give good advice. Last week, we talked about old Walt Disney, and he said that the best way to get started is to quit talking about it and start doing things. Well, y'all are here tonight. I'm doing the talking, but y'all have done something about it. You're doing something. So Walt Disney was a smart fella, and indeed, I agree with him 100%. But tonight, we're going to ask Michael Ventura what he thinks about it. He was a great novelist and screenwriter. And he reminds us that there's not really a finish line in business. There's only mile markers. As long as we're living and as long as we're working, we need to be striving not only for the finish line, but more importantly, each mile marker becomes a finish line in its own. And that gives us the chance, my friends, to start making and marking progress. And that fits in so well with tonight's lesson, talking about budgeting and business plans. So, Michael, thank you for that good advice. We'll look forward to getting more from you later on. You're not ready to see my job is to be motivated. I am to motivate you and to be assertive. Assertive is not a beautiful word to a lot of people, but to me it is. Because my experience in life says that no one is motivated until someone else is assertive. So how about that? Maybe you had never thought about it that way, but I'm going to challenge you right now that I want you to be assertive. Because we must be motivating folks if we're going to have a sustainable business. Motivation is as important to having a business as anything else is. We have to motivate ourselves to be self-starters. Then we need to motivate our customers through our marketing campaign and our selling skills to get on with it. We have to motivate our customers again once we have a chance to talk with them, to encourage our selling skills to come on, let's do some business. We need to motivate vendors to give us good deals and bankers to give us good interest rates and such as that. All this happens because we are willing to be assertive and get out and put our shoulder to the wheel. So entrepreneurship is doing things. Dr. Mary Young, who's with us tonight, shared with us last week that she had traveled gone off a long way to set up a booth at a conference to tell other folks about her work and share opportunities for them to see and buy her books. That's what she has to do. That's what we all have to do, is get out there and make it happen and love it. Learn to love it and make it happen. So I'll be doing my best to motivate you to do that, but at your own pace. So I'm going to give you some homework challenges. And the challenges are basically to get you into promoting your business, learning things that maybe you wouldn't do otherwise. And the first challenge to you is for you to create a mission, a vision, and promise statements and core values about your business. What this does challenges for you to make a commitment to yourself first, to your employees, and then to your customers, and then to the world, putting in writing what you stand for. So right now, I want you to remember to look at your study guides that are emailed to you. I sent you a helping hand how to do these mission, vision, and promise statements, good examples. And listen, it's okay to copy somebody else's work because you can change them any way you want. But right now, this is you setting your moral compass. I'll say that out loud. I want your business to have a moral compass just like you do, and you're proud of it, and you share that with the world. Why? Because when other people see that you're willing to make a commitment to doing business the right way and treating people right, they will be more likely to come on, let's do some business right now. And it just tears down the anxieties for lots of folks, because we're not going to take this lightly. This is a serious, serious matter. Your businesses know how to offer different types of services and profits to be sustainable. And I call them 5 marketable profit centers. A profit center is something you're doing in business to make money. It's one of the things. But if you're just doing one thing to one customer group in one location, there's a good chance you won't make it in business. We need diversity, and we'll talk about that a whole lot. So put together a list of your 5 marketable profit centers, and you'll see tonight as we talk business plans, it's a key ingredient for you putting together a good plan, a good budget. Make Facebook personal for yourself and have a personal page, and we can go on and move forward and do business pages as we go. So make sure you are on Facebook, and that we're hooked up and we're sharing information with our other classmates. It is a fantastic marketing tool, and I want you to participate and make no apology for that. So a little bit of tips now, tiny tips. Your job is to find the endurance to stay in the game. Most of you are just getting started, getting your feet wet, a lot of questions to be answered, a little bit scary, a lot of financial pitfalls maybe ahead of you that you don't feel quite prepared for. That's what these classes are all about. We're going to talk about several hundred different strategies and business moves and strategies and tips that you can take advantage of, strengthen up your skills tool belt to be able to stay in the game. And the longer you can stay in the game, the better you get at your business, and the better the chance is you'll make it for the long haul. Last week I mentioned the 40 drill skills, street smart skills. These are these different little strategies that I lay out for you. You'll get a handout that lays them all out with a video that you can watch a video about them. And I'm going to challenge you to rewrite these in your own words, just a sentence or two of how you'll use each skill to help you in your business, and send that to me. It's one of the challenges and help qualify you for a graduation. So we don't talk about all 40 of them during this 8-week course. Last week we did 8, I think. Tonight we'll take up a few more. So last week we talked about the business plan. And why do we need a business plan that we're going to work on tonight? Because it's going to tell us what's left. What's left after we deduct our expenses from our income, and that what's left is why we are doing a business plan, and it's always going to be so very important. And what is the marketing plan all about? Well, that's next week and the week after. We'll do the Golden Goose marketing plan, which is going to tell you what's next. If you've got a good structured marketing plan, you will have a great idea about what's coming down the road your way, because you're going to learn from your customers and learn how to take notes and put it into your planning, put it into your strategizing about what you need to do in your business to help you go forward. What's next means that you're not going to worry about whether you're going to be in business next week or next month or not. No, if you've got a good marketing plan that's working and you're checking off the blocks and doing it step by step that we're going to teach you, you will have an excellent chance of having a very good sustainable business. I know that's easy to say, and it's really not that hard to do, but it requires some doing, and we'll teach you how to do that. Number 3, there's 3 different types of marketable profit centers. 1, those that bring in new customers and daily traffic. 2, those that are repeat business. They do things to generate repeat business and take advantage of impulse buying, and those are at higher margins. And then we want to have some big ticket sales. If we have our business plan designed and our marketing plan designed that we're offering our customers these 3 different types of profit centers, and we've got at least 5 different profit centers in our business, I don't tell you, you're going to be off to a pretty good, steady start. So we'll be focusing on that, and you'll see how that works in our business planning tonight. The RFC, how about going over in chat and typing in the 3 letters, RFC, Raving Fan Customer. RFC, Raving Fan Customer. That's the marketing engine out there in the world. It doesn't cost you a penny. Raving Fan Customers send business to you. It's a way that you develop people that's going to like what you're doing. They want you to make it. They want you to make profit. And they like you so good that they encourage other people to come in and do business with you. Now, you can have regular customers, loyal customers, great customers, but that doesn't mean they'll be raving fan customers. They have to be created, and you have to do it. You have to know how to create a raving fan customer, and it's a lot more than just serving them in a normal way. In week 4, I'm going to teach you how to create raving fan customers and not charge you 1 penny for it. I'm going to give it to you, and it can mean millions for you. So make sure you plan to understand how to create those raving fan customers and do it. I've been doing it for over 50 years, and I do it every day, and I'll be glad to share the secret with you. NDCP, no demand, change the plan. That said, you need to have the knowledge, Frank and David and Kira, you need to have the knowledge that we're going to do a good business plan tonight, but tomorrow you may have to change it. Business plans are made to be written and rewritten depending on how things change. And you have to be flexible enough to keep doing that. ABCD, elementary, always be connecting the dots. And that is where I'm saying to you, as we're making business decisions, and you've got a lot of them to make, and you will through the years. I mean, who knows how many decisions we'll make every day. But a standard in our thinking process is that I don't make this business decision so it fits well with the other decisions that I'm making. Last week I said we want to make our business decision like dots, connecting the dots in a circle, not in a straight line, not in a pyramid, but we want our decisions made in a circle of dots so that we are ready to keep on rolling. We're rolling. And if we're making decisions that create a bump in the road, that's a problem. And especially with new businesses, if we make too many bumps in the road, we're going to crash and die, no doubt. So always be connecting the dots and thinking about, let's think about this a little bit. Let me get a little advice. Let me ask somebody what they think. Be connecting the dots to help you go forward. So the new one's down. Type in, please, if you don't mind, by the way. B-Y, the way. Please type that in, by the way, because it is the most important 3 words that we'll talk about tonight. And if you're going to get a tattoo tomorrow, that's what I want you to get tattooed on your bottom in great big letters, by the way, because by the way are the words, the passwords, and the door openers to upsells and cross sales and stacking profits. How you like the sound of that? Stacking profits. Upsells. So if we've got the right kind of profit centers, the right things that we're selling and offering to our customers, that we can say, thank you for buying this from me today. And by the way, I've also got this. That ties right into it. And by the way, we've also got this that completes that package. When you plan your marketing, when you plan all the things you're going to be selling, that planning needs to be in such a way that when we sell one thing, we got something close to it that's connected to it that we can keep saying by the way and start having upsells. Upsells is how you increase and stack your profits. The easiest way. Upsells is how you get to having big ticket sales where otherwise you don't have small single item sales. And man, we're going to hit that hard month after month or week after week. So by the way, is so very important for you. Don't forget that. I got some good stories to tell you about that. The 3 important rules in catching fish. Yeah, we're not talking about catching fish. Keep fresh bait in the water, keep fresh bait in the water, keep fresh bait in the water. How are we going to catch customers? How are we going to catch customers? We're going to keep sending out fresh promotions. We're going to keep them informed about all our different profit centers. We're going to send out promotions on a regular basis so that people know that. We're going to make sure our Raving Fan customers are getting this information on a regular basis so they can share it with other people. Keep sending out fresh promotions. What's the best way? What's the best way for customers to find you? What can you do to have customers to find you? Simple answer. We help them find you. We help them find you. And in week number 4 and 5, we'll focus on the different ways that we can help customers find us, because we want our business to be like a magnet. We want them to draw the customers in. That is our objective. We got a marketing campaign that's drawing customers to us. Now, that sound a whole lot better than us having to chase and capture and lasso customers and bring them in one at a time? Yeah. Saves you money and increases your chances to have a lot more customers. Or we still don't have to go out and knock on doors, do cold calls, and lasso some customers? Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that. But mainly, our marketing campaign is going to bring them to us, and we're going to be ready to turn those inquiries into sales. Well, just be aware of guerrilla marketing. I'll use that term a lot. And I've mentioned Facebook several times, and I'll be sending you information on how we're going to help each other through guerrilla marketing, increase the number of friends up as close as you can get as 5,000, the limit, as close as fast as you can, and how to go about that. And we're going to help each other do that, and I'm looking forward to it. So take a deep breath and suck this in. This you're going to need to hold on to. Number 10. My business and your business, our businesses, cannot be all things to all people. We're not Walmart, we're not Target, we're not Food Line, we're not a huge corporation, right? So our business can't be all things to all people, and we don't need to pretend that it is. But this is so important. However, it must be everything to some people. Your business must be everything to some people. You need to be good enough and welcoming enough that people like you, want to do business with you, and you become their prime supplier of whatever it is that you're selling. When that happens, you're going to be everything to them, and those folks will become your Raving Fan customers. I know it. You can do it. At some point, you don't make some good money, and you don't have a little extra cash. And here's a word of warning right up front. I don't want you to take extra cash flow that you've got coming in. You're doing real good this month, and start paying off long-term debts. As you're getting started, maybe you're having to go into debt. And if that's the case, we all hate debt. We all hate paying interest and such as that. I'm a member of that team too, but I know that it's more important for you to have a reserve fund in your business, a contingency fund in your business, than it is to pay off a debt early that you don't have to make a payment on. In week 5 and 6, we're going to talk about funding your business and being in debt. And when we go into debt, it's okay if you go into debt, provided this debt is going to bring you back profitability. So that's part of the plan. Yeah, I plan to pay 60 months because I can afford that. This piece of equipment or this vehicle will earn me enough money to pay the debt off, plus add to our profitability. So we're not going to use our short-term cash flow for anything else except to keep the business up and running and to create a contingency fund. You can can use words different ways, and we all do it. Marketing and advertising are two separate words, but in this course, I want to say you have the mindset to saying that marketing, when we use the term marketing, we're talking about long-term. Marketing long-term. As we're looking at the overall big picture, everything we're doing in our business to tell the world we're here alive and we want their business. And when we mention advertising, then I want us to think in terms that is a short-term thing. It's targeting advertising for a certain product or a certain group of people or a certain season. So marketing, long-term. Advertising, short-term. And there'll be two different budgets. You'll have a marketing budget, which is the big pie, and the advertising budget, which is a piece of the pie. So the marketing budget will always be larger than the advertising budget. Okay? That's just a rule of thumb that we're going to do, and it will help keep us in focus on how we're spending and obligating our money. Who is the toughest, meanest, strongest competitor that you'll have? And I want to tell you the answer may surprise you. It's not the company down the road. It's not the people that just opened up a business near you. Your main competitor in today's world is going to be you and your distractions. My main competitor in my business is me and my distractions. And when you realize that and quit passing the buck and blaming problems on other things, things will get better real quick because we'll move forward. We'll move forward with fighting our distractions with number 14, and that is learning how to set priorities. We all know we're adults and we've been around. We know how to set priorities. Well, now it's going to get real serious because we're going to mention hundreds of things that you need to do to make your business work better, but you've already got a full plate. So these new things aren't going to happen unless you change some priorities. And I know that. And I know that changing priorities is not an easy thing to do. You've got obligations. Maybe you're already working 2 or 3 jobs. Maybe you got a lot of children that you having to do a taxi service for all the time, or maybe you're the main caretaker for one of your loved ones, a senior citizen or a parent, and that's a 36 hours a day job in itself. So who am I to say you've got to change priorities? I'm just reminding you, got to say this to yourself. Take keeping your business up and running serious, and there'll be some changes have to be made. The good news is you can do it. You'd just be amazing how many choices we can make in the course of a day to really help us get past this. And I'll give you some real serious, helpful hints on how to make it happen. Now, from the money standpoint, the basic building block that most entrepreneurs have not ever thought about when they're just getting started is I want you to be aware of fair market value. Fair market value is a legal term. It's a marketing term, but it's mainly a legal term because all the values that we see in advertising, TV, radio, print, all the different prices you got, and there's no limit to how many millions of different type prices people will throw at you. There's only one fair market value. And there's only one because it is a legal term and determined in so many different ways in the court systems and in business systems throughout the world. I want you to commit the definition of fair market value to your memory and to your thinking process, because everything that we buy and everything that we sell, fair market value needs to run through our brain as we're making those decisions. It is the price in terms of money that property will bring and we put on the open market between a willing seller and a willing buyer, neither one of which are under any pressure, and both of them know their business. They know about the product, the advantages and disadvantages of it. And when they can come to a mutual price as a fair market value, that's a legal term. Who in this world has a job to determine fair market value? What are those people called? They're called appraisers. That's what appraisers do, is determine fair market value. So we're going to talk about that a lot as we move forward in our classes. But you as individuals, I want you to own it. You're going to be a graduate of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. Knowing what fair market value is so that you can apply it every day is an important skill. So what am I talking about applying every day? The golden rule of buying and selling is you want to purchase items below fair market value so that you can sell items above fair market value. You're pretty much guaranteed a profit provided you know what the fair market values are. And if you don't, you're going to get in big trouble in a big hurry. So learning fair market value is so important for you. L and H advertising. That's old Steve-O's thing, L and H. And the L and the H stand for the look and the hook. So a lot of you haven't heard this before, but I always say it at this point in my class. I want you to become a real good hooker. I really do. Hookers are very valuable here tonight because the hook in the L and the H, the hook is the call to action. That is what we put in our marketing messages that get people excited and motivated, that wants to move them off their chair, get up and give you your money out of their pocket. That's the hook. The call to action, get them moving. And we have to do that. When we remember to do that, our marketing and our advertising become exploded, more potential for profitability and motivating people. The L and the H, and we'll show you how to do that as well. So, business planning for long-term success is a must. And planning starts with budgeting. They go right together. So we'll move into that. I want you to think about right now that maybe your business is brand new or fairly new, and right now you've been doing all your thinking about how can I make it the next month or this year. I just want to make sure that I'm doing things so that I can survive. I just want to survive. But right now, I'm going to tell you, is the perfect time that we together put into this. Not only are we going to plan to survive, but we're going to plan to thrive for the long haul. Yes, indeed. We're going to plan not only to make it now, but make it for the long haul. And when you have that in the back of your mind, you'll start putting ingredients into your recipe, into your business plan that will help you make it for the long haul. Little things can make a major difference in the long term. Notice I've already mentioned tonight several times how important it is to have a contingency fund. That's a little thing, but right now it seems like, well, gosh, Steve, I'm having to borrow money. I'm not saving any money. I don't have any extra. Well, let's keep that in mind, because as soon as you can start pigeonholing some extra money, that's what we want to do. So only 25% of new businesses make it for 15 years or more. And those that make it 30 years or more can teach us a lot of good lessons in the founding conditions and planning. That's what we're doing tonight. What you're doing is you're founding your business. And did you know you are a founder? Congratulations. Rather than just swaying back and forth with market changes, we'll have a major factor in whether or not you're going to make it for the long term. So are we worried about surviving today? Oh, yeah. But how about let's work hard for thriving tomorrow? So if you agree with that, give me an amen or okay over on the chat board, because this needs to be a fundamental mindset way of thinking that we're going to move forward in this class. We're after the thriving for tomorrow, and I appreciate the comments and the support. It helps me a lot when y'all answer up like that. Thank you so much. So those of you that I had your email addresses and thought that you might attend class tonight, I sent you an email about 4 o'clock The first time I've done it like this, I'm going to try to interject more questions and quizzes into my classes. So to get you interested, I sent an email out about general questions about budgeting and business planning in a business. And these questions, I asked AI to help me with this, and they gave them to me with some answers. So hopefully you've read through that, or you will read through it. And as we talk tonight, I will cover in one way or another all these subjects. I may not use the same terms, but it's going to cover all these subjects. Tomorrow, I'll actually do it tonight, maybe. Maybe not tonight because there's got a big crowd. It'll take me a while to get all these addresses together. But first thing in the morning, the first thing I'm going to email out to you is these answers to this budget and business plan fundamentals. So that you can listen tonight, think about it, and then as you read it tomorrow and see these answers in a different context with different terminologies, hopefully it will help you put it all together for a better and clear understanding to put it to work for yourself. Basic budgets. Here we go. Let's just say that getting our business started on a basic budget is a lot like when we got started as a teenager, when our parents said, okay, we can give you some allowance, but we want you to make a little bit of money on your own, and you need to set up a budget so you can manage your money and see how far you can make it last. So let's say that now you've got your new business started, and I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. We got to start somewhere. You've got $7,000 in revenue, and you got some expenses. You need things you need. You just got to have it. There's $4,200 worth, so that's 60% of your revenue budget. And then you got some things that you want. You want it, but you could live without it. $2,100 worth, that's 30%. And then you got some debts that you got to pay back, $700. That's 10%. So every budget are going to have to do with these factors. And everything that we sell is something we need, something our customers need or something they want. And we all have expenses we have to pay, like paying off debts. So the need and the want thing will play through this entire course, and it will play through your business the entire way, because one of the ways you get a diversity in products is having things that people want and then having other things they need. That way you can do your upsells and say, by the way, okay? But this is a good plan. So, but we can't do but a whole lot of money, a whole lot of work with that kind of money. But if we add $3,000 to that budget, if we add another profit center, if we add 2 more profit centers to bring in more revenue, and in our business, that's how we're going to bring in more revenue, it can make a world of difference, because now we still got those things we need at $4,200, but we can up the things that we want from $2,100 to $4,800 and pay $1,000 on the debt. So remember NDCP, always no demand change to plan. Then always be willing to take another look at your business plan and your budget to figure out how you can add a profit center to bring in a significant amount more revenue without adding a whole lot of expenses. And that's the logic that we'll go forward here with. As we're doing into our business plan now, let's just kind of get a format that we're going to be working with. Use the old phones and ring, can't they? So here we go. 5 steps to the business plan. What we're after tonight is learning what is a business plan, why do we want it, how about a planner, a 6-month planner to help us have a check-off list of the things we need to do and know. Let's talk about business models. For a model, a set of numbers for each one of our income items, and a set of numbers for each one of our expense items, and we're going to call those models. And then we're going to learn how to connect those models together to create our complete business plan. Now, I said that real fast, and we'll go through it fairly quickly tonight. And remember, you can use your handouts, your study guides, and the videos if you want to go back and review it. But it's not that difficult, so just pay attention. So why do we want a business plan? To give us the information we need before we take the risk of investing time and talents and treasure and losing it. We want our investors to feel good about supporting us in our business and the business plan, how we're going to show them to do it. We want a document, something in writing, something on the computer screen that's a course that we can follow or a plan that we can follow so that we can complete one thing, we know what's next we got to do. And we want to sidestep pitfalls and expenses that's going to hurt us. And going through this business plan process will certainly do that for you. So remember, when I say business plan, I want you to say what's left. Over in chat, I say business plan and you type in what's left. Let's drill that in your brain. Let's put it in your way of thinking, because from now on, we're doing all this for what's left. What's left? Are we meeting your goals? Are we meeting your budget? Are we in red ink or black ink? Black ink is a good thing. Black is beautiful. Red ink, not so good. That means our cash flow is going the wrong way. What's left? We will try to determine that. And I know as we get started, we're going to do a lot of guessing. And that's why it's good for you to have a valuable business coach like myself and other people that's been in all the different types of business to help you determine what your chances are to end up in black ink. So we're going to deal with money and we're going to deal with time. And the factors are, all of us may be different. You may be thinking about starting a side hustle. Maybe you've already got a good business plan, a stable income, you're happy with it, and you just want to include it. So what you're doing is taking your current plan and adding a new profit center or a side hustle. So maybe that's where you're at. Maybe you just want to have a part-time business. You're not interested in a full-time business right now. You got other things going on. Part-time is good. And so that's what you're after. And maybe, no, I've got a real business here. It's full-time. It's my security. It's my future. And so to give me an idea now, that the rest of us, what are you here about? Over in chat, type in side hustle, part-time, or full-time. Let us all see where we're at. This is real important. Getting a good mix. And maybe what I've learned through the years, I've had probably 20 side hustles through the years, and maybe 10 of them turned into profit centers in my business. And maybe 5 of those actually turned into a full-time business. So you don't ever really know. But it's good as you know which one we're starting with, because your business plan will be different for each one of these. And that's what we're doing. Thank you all for the participation. I appreciate that. So is this going to be your only income, a second job, or a third job? You don't have to answer that. Just want you to ask yourself that. Because, again, depending on if this is your only income, then your goal at the bottom of that business plan needs to be fulfilling your income needs, right? So the what's left becomes really, really important, because that's how you're going to live. That's how you're going to keep your business alive. So let me mention side hustle. That's a good thing, and it makes it easier for us to teach this class, because side hustles, you've already got a basic way of funding your life. You've already got a business plan. It's just a matter you take what's going on and let's put it in writing so that we can see it. And then the side hustles become extra income opportunities and make it really quite easy to do your business plan, no doubt about it. And side hustles have less stress, lower startup cost. You've already got established customer contacts, and you'll have a lower cost of doing business, CODB. So I like working business plans for side hustles, because we're basically just adding profit centers. But I've got a word of caution. Sometimes we can get really excited about the grass over on that other side of the pasture, the greener grass on the other side of the pasture, on the other side of the fence. And you got to be careful now. Don't let your side hustle excitement jeopardize the steady, solid income that you've already got going on for you. Some people get so excited about something new, they start doing less of a good job in their other work. And sometimes they lose their other jobs or their other contracts because they didn't keep paying attention to them. Don't fall for that. So I have to give you that warning. I have to raise that red flag. Don't let your side hustle excitement jeopardize the solid income you've already got coming in, okay? Now, this is a checkoff list. I prepared this for you, and I call it a 6-month planner. Usually when you're starting a new business, it's hard, almost impossible to start a meaningful business in less than 6 months. And 6 months is about as early as you can do it. So the good news is I've done this planner based on 6 months, but here's the story. It's your schedule that counts. It's how fast you want to move forward that counts. So you can take this 6 months and you move things forward to 12 months or 2 years or 5 years. That's up to you. But the information is here for you, the different things that have to be done. And there's a few more things that have to be done, but these are the basics. This is your basic checkoff list to get your business started. And depending on how fast you want to move, this free planner may indeed for right now be your business plan. If you've already got a good, successful business up and running and starting, then your business plan may need to be a whole lot more sophisticated. The college-bound 7 points that starts out with a certain information such as that. The one we're going to use tonight will get you started, and then you can expand it from there. So let's look at the planner. These are the things that if you want a new business, you're thinking about getting it started, and I got a date here, August 1st. So we're going to say, by golly, I'm serious. I don't get started right now. So August 1st, I will start getting these things done. I'll check them off as we go along. So number one, determine the products and services you're going to offer. Do it in writing. Create a list of what they are. And then once you determine that, what do you know now and what don't you know that you need to learn? Where are you with product knowledge? Do you need to improve your skills and knowledge? And let's do a menu. You can't go to the world selling stuff without having a menu and talk about the prices and the details. Write it down. You have just become serious about getting your business started. And so that's going to keep you busy a month. And then by September 1st, let's talk about our customers. I want a targeted list of customer groups. Who and where are these customers, and how do you plan to reach out to them? Where are the databases I can put together to get in touch with them? Where is the location that I want my business to be located? Or, like Raymond said, I don't be mobile. I don't move from spot to spot. But still, that location is important because sometimes you're going to want to have a marketing place, a place where people can meet you and come for you. Maybe that's a place that you'll have a billboard sign. What are the locations so that the people are going to be able to find you? Have you thought about your startup cost? What's it going to cost you to get started? Now, startup cost is a first-time cost. It's a one-time cost, and you may not have to do that again, but you will have cost involved. And what I want to tell you here is important as you go ahead and think about it, guess about it, write them down, put a dollar figure there. The bad news is it's probably going to increase 2 or 3 times, okay? But do your startup cost. It's important as you do this, and maybe you have already started investing in your business. So I mentioned this to Raymond and David because I know they have, and to Mary. When you have invested money and property and equipment and furniture and training into getting your business started, I want you to list that down and put a monetary value there. When you did it, how much it cost you. Because guess what? you're making a loan to your business. And that loan, if it can be documented, the business gets to pay that money back to you. Yeah, once the business starts making some profit, it pays that money back to you. And the better news is it comes back to you tax-free. Yeah, that's money you can get back from the business tax-free. And it's a write-off, an expense, indeed, for the business. So it's a win-win situation. Another win there is that the business gets to pay you interest on that loan. A reasonable rate charges you interest. Now, the interest money coming to you from the business is taxable. But again, it's a write-off for the company, so it's a trade-off. So you keep a list of all that. So determine your startup cost and keep a definite record of it, because it'll go into your budget and into your financial statement. October 1st, right around the corner, let's talk about our banking. I want you to have a business banking account. I want you to have a business money market account. I want you to have a business credit card. And indeed, if you can, a business credit line. But you're going to start with your bank account. So determine who your bank's going to be. It's good to do business with a local bank. If you have contacts there, people that might loan you money down the road. It's also good to do business with several banks. Don't limit yourself to one. You give that some thought. Now let's talk about, or you don't have a business location or a van or a truck, you don't need insurance on it. So let's talk about where you're going to get that insurance and how much it will cost and what are the limits going to be. Still in October, and we're thinking about marketing campaign now and budgets. Of course, all this is going to tie in, but these are definite blocks that you're going to check off because they've got to be done. Well, we're getting more serious now. So how are your negotiating and forecasting skills? Negotiating and forecasting are really important. You might be a great mechanic. You might be a great teacher. You might be a great home service, home cleaning business person. You may do some things really well, but do you know how to negotiate? Serious negotiating? Do you know how to forecast your business expenses and income? Well, the good news is in week 7, we'll dive into that really deep and give you a good basis and a good knowledge of doing that. And all the weeks up to that, we'll bring that into play. So that's important business skills that you're going to want to enhance as we go along. November's here now, and we want to be open on January 1st. So in November, we're going to start sending out marketing information. Remember that constant feed to our potential customers with promotions and letting them know what our profit centers are. We're going to start marketing, and if we have a location, it's time to start getting it ready. Maybe it's furniture and fixtures we have to bring in. As you think about that, remember that's part of your startup cost and it needs to be listed. So here's an important tip. Whatever you're doing, having a building, a side hustle, a van, signage, make sure you've learned what the local codes are, the zoning codes, advertising codes, fire codes, and such as that. It's a lot better to get this information up front and get the license and the tax numbers you need before you spend money and maybe have to go back and redo things or tear things down and redo them because you were outside of the codes. The good news is in North Carolina, every corporate community has a website now, and usually at that website they have not only all their codes spelled out that you can read for yourself, or they'll tell you the phone number and the office person to go sit down and talk and let them talk you through it. Every small town, every city looks forward to helping entrepreneurs get new business started. So this would be a positive move. Don't say to yourself, I hate government, I hate this, I'm just trying to run my business or doing that. Well, you can take that attitude, or you can take the other attitude is they're here to help me. I just got to go talk to them and learn what I need to do and accept it. Do it right the first time. Don't get into a negative situation with government. Getting closer now. It's December. Time to put that stock on the shelf. Time to put the pricing up there. Train our staff with product knowledge. Let's do a little soft opening. Let's do some business and see how things work. Make sure our cash register is working good and our sales computer. Let's test out everything. Let's do a little business. This is really important that you go through a test period, a soft, kind of quiet period of serving your customers so that you can get things ready. Because, my friend, when the grand opening day comes, I want it to be a big deal. Soft opening has passed. We're ready to bring the crowd in. We're ready to do some serious advertising for this grand opening. We're ready to have some extra people on board to wait on them. They need to be trained so that our first chance to serve a lot of people at one time goes really well. We want that grand opening to get you started, to motivate, to jumpstart your business and your cash flow. And it's important that you're prepared for it. You don't want to have a grand opening and bring people in and you don't have what they need, or you don't have the service capability to look after them, or people there to wait on them. Because the worst thing that happens is you have a grand opening and people come and leave disappointed. Because when they're leaving, they're not going to be able to go out into the rest of the community and say how awful things were. Or what we want is for them to go out into the community as raving fans and brag on you. You're going to do all that it takes to make sure that free marketing message leaves in a big way as you're first getting started. So if you adopt this and you start making these things happen to get ready to do your business plan and your budgeting, this will be a great guide for you. All these things are going to need to be done. So I really hope this helps. Next, and you can print this off, this is a startup business plan for you and or a loan application, because both may be the same thing. If it's a loan application, it's going to require more information, but a business plan, tonight you can print these off on the handouts that I'm sending to you and fill in your information. It's a Word file. So you can do your own business plan tomorrow on your computer, just filling in the blanks and doing some thinking about it and getting started. If you hit some roadblocks, it's okay. Save the file, email them to me, ask me the question. Maybe I can give you some ideas. If you are working with your local small business center, this is a good place to start creating questions and to move forward. But get organized, get on paper, and get structured. That's what I'm encouraging us to do. Business name, your name, mailing, legal address, social security number, the basic contact information. You can leave the social security number off on this. If you're doing a loan application, this don't be a must. So how about the business name? The business name in North Carolina, if you're incorporated, and if you're doing DBAs, you don't want to use names that other people are using. So you can go to the Secretary of State's office and they'll tell you what's available and what's not. Very easy process, very easy to do. In your business plan, you're going to be basically telling what products and solutions are you bringing to the marketplace. One or two sentences, just think about it. Be specific as you can. What products and solutions? Why is your business here? What's it going to be about? Talk about the region that you plan on working. Where are you going to be serving and selling? What areas of the county or the state or the nation or maybe nationwide? Think about what the scope and range of your business is. Talk about the different customer groups, people that you're planning on serving. Who are they and where are they? Talk about seasonal marketing. What seasons, what time of year are you going to be real busy, and what are you going to do in those other times of the year to stay busy? You want to talk about that you are prepared to take advantage of seasonal marketing opportunities. Go ahead and talk about the opening date that you're working towards. What is your timeline, as we just talked about earlier? You want short, concise statements. Talk about the tools and the money that you're going to need to get started, what you already have, maybe what the values of them are, explain how things are going to be used to make money, talk about the menu of marketable profit centers that you're going to need, and then we estimate how much revenues you're going to bring in a certain periods of time, and estimate what your expenses will be. And then you're going to talk about how much money and time you've invested in the business to date, how much you have available now to go forward, and maybe how much more you're going to need to borrow. Okay? So you're just laying out simple statements here, nothing too in-depth, but being honest to yourself, and you're putting it in writing. You're off to a start. That is a business plan. That is a business plan, and it's an excellent start. And we can move forward from there, taking that basic information as you progress and mature in business, and transfer that same information over to a sophisticated business plan as needed. But almost never are those type plans needed for startup businesses. But when you get to the loan application, it's going to jump more into what we've talked about here before, but also it's going to talk about you individually, what your personal credit histories are, your financial statement. You'll want to show the lender your startup budget that we're going to talk about tonight, your net worth, liabilities, assets, and so forth. Just a basic financial statement that's available online, or I'll be glad to send you one. So there you go. You take what's in your handout, your study guides that are being sent to you tomorrow, and have a business plan to get you started in a good way. So budget planning now. We talked about what a budget was, but now I'm going to talk about budget planning using models. We want a model, or that's our tool, for each type of profit center, and we want a model for each type of expense that we're going to have. We want to look at the diversification of our profit centers. The more profit centers they have, the more cash flow we're going to earn. The more cash flow we have, the better the chance is we can manage a budget. So it's all going to come back to those profit centers and how much money they're bringing in. So you got to list them down. You got to get started. You got to be serious. List those income generators, and then we're going to create a model for each one of them. And when I say model, think of Lego blocks. Each one of these little blocks represents a piece of the business plan done with different models. We're going to have these little blocks that represent income and different blocks that represent expenses. Over on the left-hand side, we got income models, different types of profit centers. Over on the right-hand side, expense models. So in this example, we got income models from new customer items, profit centers for new customers bringing in $3,900. We got package deals we put together for $21,900. All right. We put together deals for big ticket sales for $56,800. And therefore, we're estimating during this, we'll say 6-month time period, we're going to create $82,000 in income by using these 3 different models. Yeah. And we've looked at each model and determined what type of profit center it is. That's really important. New customers, repeat business, package deals, big ticket sales. All right, so now let's look at our expenses. We got some debts we got to pay back, $37,500. We got some insurance premiums for $14,900. We got payroll for $84,000. Pay myself quite well here in 6 months. So our expenses are going to run up to $136,000. Holy moly! $82,000 in, $136,000 out. In other words, we're in the hole in red ink. What's left? This business plan, what's left is minus $54,300. That's not such a good business plan, is it? It is a good business plan because it's giving you estimates to help you run your business, and that's what your business plan needs to do. Is it a business plan you want to stay with? Oh no, this is an NDCP, no demand change the plan. Something's got to change here because you can't stay in business like this. So what do? Well, we go to work and we start adding income items. So if we add 3 new profit centers that generate $25,000 apiece, that's going to up our ante $75,000. And when we do that, look down at the bottom. It moves these same expenses and everything up to a $20,000 surplus or margin profit. How about that? Every time your business plan is giving you red ink, you're going to need to add profit centers or cut expenses, one or the other. And what I don't want you to do is borrow more money. We don't want to borrow our way out of a problem when we can add profit centers that help us say, by the way, and probably move forward with our business being quite profitable. I do appreciate y'all all staying with us. So give me an uh-huh. Are you with me so far? Give me an amen or uh-huh or something there. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. I hope I hadn't put you to sleep yet. The good news is, look here. We've got a simple sheet for you now. We've taken those business models and we've listed down the different types of profit centers, because as we choose what we're going to be selling, we're going to remember that we want new customer products. We won't bring in daily traffic. We want items that give us high margins. We want repeat business. And we're thinking about building our business around the types of customers that will keep coming in. That's sustainability. That is sustainability. Raymond's going to be doing marine work on outboard engines. So Raymond's going to help people that's having an emergency to get them out of a jam and emergency repairs. But that's one type of profit center. Another type of profit center is for Raymond to do winterization, for people to bring their boats in after the season. Another type of profit center is for Raymond to do adding accessories, different types of accessories or electronics to boats. And the other type will be reconditioning trailers, boat trailers and such as that, or lighting. Or so there's a whole world of different types of profit centers that you need to have in your menu to help you stay open, help you stay busy year-round, and keep those profit dollars coming in. Just like we know we're going to have different types of income, you're going to have different types of expenses, and they're going to create their own models. That's down at the bottom here in the red ink. Your one-time startup cost, your marketing plan, your cost of doing business expenses, telephone, insurance, fuel, things like that. And staffing and payroll and employee costs. That's a different model. And then every business, they have some different types of expenses for different types of groups, and then we maybe have to pay off some debts. So we'll take those models, we'll stack them up, we'll add up the numbers, we'll take the black ink for income, we'll subtract the red ink for expenses, and down at the bottom, what's left. And we're hoping that what's left is going to meet your goals. Because here's an important factor, my friend. I want us to do a business plan for you that ends up with the what's left that you targeted. And if the what's left that you targeted is not being fulfilled, then it's time to end DCP, go back to that business plan and rework it so that this business plan is your plan. It's designed to serve your needs. It's just not, I'll take what's left. I've had planned this to try to get to where I need to go and grow with it. I know this works. I've seen it work for thousands of people through the years, and it's something you can work on and keep up with, and it makes sense. I haven't mentioned profit or nonprofits yet because some of you may be going into a nonprofit type business. And everything we've talked about thus far, it applies to nonprofits as well. But there are some things that are different for nonprofits. I'm not an expert on nonprofits, but I will give you some good information to help you get started if that's what you're doing. In your handouts, there's some study guides that give you great information on where to go to find out more about nonprofits online. Some really good information to share with you, and you can do that. Every one of the small business centers offers webinars and special coaching. The directors can help you with some detailed information if you're thinking about a nonprofit business as well. Of course, they can help you with for-profit business. So, in your study guides, I'll give you several links to different places on the internet to help you, and also some very good videos that help you with nonprofits on your mind. So we're not going to ignore you. We're going to help you all that we can. The thing about nonprofits are they serve a lot of different kinds of groups, and you may have been involved with a nonprofit that didn't even know it. Of course, if you're active in church or with veterans or civic organizations, PTAs or PTOs and groups, different types of scoutings, they're all nonprofits. So you know that they have a whole range of different ways to raise money rather than selling products and services. They can go after donors from different areas and such as that. The rest of the story is you have a lot of opportunities in different ways to raise money. And in week 4 and 5, we'll talk about some ideas that maybe you hadn't thought about yet. But fundraising is an amazing thing. And now in today's world and marketing ability on social media, a lot of different types of businesses are raising money, business money, with a lot of different ways. And I'm sure you'll enjoy thinking about that. But Steve-O here is telling you one thing for sure. Keeping your business up and running money-wise, you're going to need to be savvy, and you're going to need to be willing to make adjustments as those adjustments are needed to be made. Stay on top of it. Be savvy, be shrewd, be ready to make changes when you have to. Okay, we're either selling products or we're selling time for money. That's our options, mainly. You may be working as a commission situation or some way or other running your business, but 99% of us are either going to be selling products or we're going to be selling time for money or some type of combination there. In either situation, and you may not have thought about this yet, but when it comes to your forecasting and your planning and your budgeting, being aware of a calendar and knowing right now that I'm going to be thinking about not only what's happening today and this month to survive, I'm going to be thinking about months ahead of time and years ahead, so that I can thrive for the long run. Put that in your pipe and smoke on it. Think ahead. You'll make it for the long term. Selling products now. This slide represents the paperwork for a model, an income model. Whatever you have on your menu, different ways you're going to make money. For each model, you will want to figure out a certain amount of money information. You'll list out what it is. You'll say what each item will sell for and how many units you're going to sell in a given period of time, let's say 6 months, for example. And if you sell that product for that amount of money over a period of time, you'll create X amount of revenue. And then what are your expected expenses going to be? And we'll take our expenses away from it. And at the end of the day, we're going to subtract the expenses from the income and know what's left. What's left right here. And what are we going to call this what's left number? A revenue, profit, margin, deposits. Well, I don't want us to call it profit right now. Let's call it margin. Because each profit center will develop enough extra revenue above the expenses, to create some additional cash for the company to pay its other bills. And we're going to call that the revenue that the profit center has created is margin that goes in the pot to help the overall business plan go. So each profit center will do a model analysis like this, and then that's going to give you the numbers you need to put on that sheet that we looked at earlier. let's use, for an example, a used car dealership. Let's say that you're going to be a used car salesperson. Well, when you're they're in every town. You can see these every day as you're riding up and down the street. The used car business works like this. The dealers will either take trade-ins in, or they usually go to car sales, which is every major city in the States has car auction sales. And the buyers will stand over here on the left-hand side, and the cars will roll through in front of them. The sellers or the auctioneers will be over here on the right-hand side, and they'll take bids on the different cars. Before this car rolls through there, the buyers were out on the parking lot or on the sales lot looking at each one of these cars, made their notes, and determined how much they're going to bid on it. And when that car rolls through, they will try to buy it as low as they can, but they will not go above a certain figure because they know what the fair market value is. They are going to buy below fair market value so they can sell above fair market value. And if they know for sure what fair market value is and it doesn't sell at their lot, they can bring it back and have a good expectation of getting their money back. Okay? That's why you want to know what fair market value is in this business and others. So in the used car business, they buy them, they roll them back to their lot in your town or in my town, put up some streamers and put some price tags on them, maybe dress them up, do some stuff to them, and they're offered to sell to the public. From the auction yard to the used car dealership yard. The most popular used car in the used car world in America is a car that sells for around $6,000. That's your starter car, your child just got their driver's license car, this is the extra car I'm keeping to run errands with, or it's just I can afford this in my budget as my first car. Used car dealers sell mostly $6,000 range cars. So, and if you've got in a good populated area, you can probably sell 90 used cars in 6 months in this range, 15 cars a month. And when you do that, you've created $540,000 in revenue. The numbers get real big real quick, right? So when they went to the auction to buy a car that they could sell for $6,000, they probably are not going to pay more than $4,000 for it. They knew that going in. They needed cars to serve that market, and they couldn't pay more than $4,000 for each of them. So if they bought them for $4,000, sold 90 of them, that means they invested $360,000. Now, I'm using numbers right now, and you got to give me some flexibility. These numbers may go up and down. Of course, the used car business, or some used cars have skyrocketed. All trucks have skyrocketed. So these are example numbers. But that $2,000 margin is real, and that's pretty much throughout all the different classes of cars. So here we go. We bought in $540. We spent $360. So this particular model, the $6,000 cars, earned us $180,000. What's left in a 6-month period? That's money that goes towards paying the other bills, the other expense items in our business. We're going to call it margin. And in every product's model, you'll have a similar sheet of paper, a similar analysis, so you'll know how much to estimate this particular model is going to bring into the business. And it gives you the goals of what you need to shoot for. It helps you plan how much marketing you need to spend to get to the numbers you want. That's selling products. Now let's talk about selling time. And some people sell, a mechanic will sell his time to fix items, but he's also got, he's going to sell products in the type of his parts and accessories he's selling. But selling time is a different animal. And it gets a little bit more, maybe a lot more complicated when we start selling time, because we need to bring in a certain amount of money in a given period of time, right, to meet our budget, to meet our payroll, to meet our expenses. So selling time is important. When it comes to selling time, I like to say I want you to have a business plan that you earn your budget. that you earn your business plan goal in 4 days a week. 4 days a week, 4 weeks a month. So on the time side, you are separating your calendar and scheduling appointments to bring you in a certain amount of money, irregardless of how much of what you're doing, who you're working for, what the circumstances are, rain or shine, how many miles you had to get there. I'm driving home the point that when you're planning your budget, you want to plan your budget to bring in a minimum amount of money every day. And then you start. And it's not going to be easy, but you start. And as you start creating relationships and regular customers, you know how much money you can generate, and you start planning your budget in order to do that. Yeah, 4 weeks a month. So basically, we're talking about a 16-day work month. That's going to bring you in the money that you need. Who does this? Everybody does this that's been in business a long time. You go to the dentist office. Let's just use the dentist, for example. And you have a problem. And they schedule to come back for a problem. Well, indeed, once you get that calendar date down, they're going to hound you to make sure that you're back there on a certain date because they got a certain chair for you to sit in. And that chair is going to generate a certain amount of money every day and every month. And they're going to keep their appointment schedules in such a way to make sure the right amount of money is coming in to pay all the bills and all the people. That's a structured income for selling time for money. And we all can do that. We all need to do it. So I'm going to use an example now. We're going to keep it real simple. And your goal is to generate $2,400 a week. And to do that in a 4-day week, that means you need to generate $600 a day, right? 4 times 600, 2,400. So now we don't try to figure out how to bring in that $2,400 in the month or in the week by scheduling appointments that are going to bring in a certain amount of money per day. So as we're working with customers and making appointments, we don't estimate what we're going to bring in. For example, on Monday, we're going to do 4 different types of jobs to bring in $150 apiece. And on Tuesday, we're going to do 6 different jobs that bring in $100 a piece. On Wednesday, we're going to do some $50 work and mix in some $100. On Thursdays, we're going to do some $300 work. This is oversimplified, but indeed, as you're scheduling and you're pricing, you're going to know right up front when you're giving someone an estimate on what the job's going to cost. It's going to have a whole lot more to do with than strictly how much time you spend doing it. Because it may be that you're filling this slot up on a slot day that you need to bring in $300 during that time period. Or maybe you need to bring in $600 during that time period. And it may be the difference in whether or not you say to the customer, and because you know that their job is only going to generate $100 for you, you need to say to them, I can't do that on a certain date, but I can do it on another date. Or if you know the situation well, you just go ahead and maybe you could have done the job for $100, but because you've got a family to feed and a business to keep open, that price on that day is $200 and not $100. Therefore, your prices may fluctuate a lot, and you become skilled in doing that. As your business grows and becomes more steady, then you're able to fill these calendars up and make the money you need and then start improving, charging more. When the calendar is absolutely packed, then the good news is it's time for you to hire some help and get another calendar started. Absolutely. Okay? So now let's look here. Let's say that your business is graphic designs and marketing services, and for a $600 day, 6 months going to give you 96 days. You're going to generate $57,600. You figure that your cost per day is $200, and therefore your expenses are $19,200. And if that's the case, you're generating $38,400 with this particular model. That's a margin. It's a margin. That's how much money you generated by planning it out and getting your appointment set up the right way. So now we take these same expenses, we plug in the numbers that we've just generated into our expense model page, fill in the blanks, and you've got a good idea how much revenue you've got going and coming and what's left. I went through that in a hurry, so let that sink in. Look at your video again tomorrow. Think about your different models, your different menus, and my friend, you'll be amazed on how fast it can come together. There's also a graphic here that you can print this out and just use it to pencil in different items to help you estimate. This is just a work paper to help you with your figuring out things. So wrapping it up now, there's some things that we forget often. We got to remember that we have to pay the taxes. And so as you're writing the expenses in items that you're having to buy, remember there's taxes to pay. Remember that if payroll is a part of this, there's a whole lot of payroll deductions or taxes that have to be accounted for. Don't fail to include that in your thinking. If you're borrowing money and you owe more than just a payment, you don't owe some interest, make sure you calculate the amount of interest and include that in your liabilities. Insurance is easy to forget. You don't do your initial insurance premium payment with the insurance company, but then you don't have monthly payments to make as well. So don't forget the insurance. Go ahead and write into your budget. Go ahead and write into your budget the rainy day account. The contingency account, as the professionals call it. And that's one of the questions on the questions I sent to you. Make sure that's part of your planning. In week 7, we're going to talk about bookkeeping. And I'll show you how to take these different items. You're going to take these different models and budget items and build your bookkeeping system around the work we're doing tonight. Make it a whole lot easier. Do not think everything's perfect. Because on the best situation, planning for surviving and planning for thriving, things will happen. They're never perfect in small business, so you always have to keep your guard up and be savvy enough to know that that's the case. The small business centers and my goal is your success. We've been doing this a long time. We're pretty darn good at it. You give us a chance to help you and follow these instructions, you'll be on the right path. So, pricing products is next week. Looking forward to working with you on it. Now, we are in a season as well that we are doing a Tuesday night class about how to set your business up to make it easier and better to have succession from it, to sell it, to bring other people in. And on Tuesday night classes, that's what we're doing for the next 4 weeks. Tomorrow night's class is about the value of the business. Appraisal basics. I'm a certified appraiser. I do business appraisals. And also we talk about what makes your business worth more or less in the eyes of a buyer. So you're certainly welcome to join that course as well. Tell anybody else that you're welcome to join as well. So we'd love to have you. So let's think about this. The best kind of people are those that come into your life and make you see the sun where we saw clouds. The people that believe in you so much, you start to believe in you too. The people that love you simply for being you. The once-in-a-lifetime kind of people. I'm striving to be that. I want you to join me in that journey. I know that many people that are here with us tonight are givers and are willing to help and are dedicated to that. And for that, I'm truly thankful and grateful that we can do this in America. So let's raise our sights for that type of work. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. I am a sinner. I need his help all the time.
Okay, so what happened was it probably tripped the inverter.
So what we need is to think about how we can help other people, help ourselves, live by the golden rule, take time to meditate, charge our batteries, especially now as you're just getting started in business, and know that help is out there, and folks will love to help you if you give them a chance. So do your study guide, stay with it, and let's go forward together. So after each class, we invite folks to make comments, have any statements, or ask questions. We'll stay with you as long as you want to talk, and as we can, and certainly appreciate it. Thank you for being with me tonight. I hope to see you tomorrow night, and of course next Monday. God bless you. Thank you so much. Any comments? Y'all can unmute your mics.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for your time, your insights.
Thank you very much, Raymond. It was a pleasure to meet you tonight, and I hope we can get a lot of work done together.
Oh, I foresee it.
That's great. So good. I'll come see you one day.
Well, I'll be here. You know where I'm at.
All right. Thank you. Eric, good to have you back with us tonight. I hope everything's going well for you.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Okay, like they say on Walton's Mountain, good night, John Boy. Y'all take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Hey, I got a question for you. A little sidebar. So tonight I was approached with the version of an FEIN. Is that a necessary entity that I need to have with an LLC, or just a state-certified EIN?
Just a standard EIN should be just fine.
Okay, that's what I thought. Why would I need a federal EIN?
If you start doing federal contracts, they have several systems called the SAM system. You might need some more criteria, but there's people that sell a lot of junk out there that you don't need that try to talk you into it. You get your regular EIN, and then as the world goes around and you start bidding on different work or have opportunities, they'll let you know if something extra is needed, but usually not.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but I keep getting hit up from multiple sources, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. A lot of people are offering a lot of stuff just to fatten their pocketbook and cost you more money. If something special comes up, it'll be clear that you need it.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, also, too, can you resend me that email you sent at 4 o'clock? For some reason, I didn't get it. All I got was a reminder.
Yeah, I'll be glad to.
And I might end up shooting you my business plan, let you look over it, and let you see what we've came up so far with, if it looks good to you.
We look forward to it.
Okay. Well, I'll send that to you, and
no charge for any service.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, so the cash flow sheet is kind of jacked up right now, but I'll send that as well, what we have, once it gets complete.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Take care and don't pinch your finger.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Anybody else?
Oh, make sure you tell them about next door.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, because I just looked. I'm at over 300 views in 48 hours.
Fantastic. Well, when I email you the things you've asked for, respond back and give me a link to some of the next door stuff.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Who do we have in Allander?
I just want to say thank you.
All right. Who is this?
You don't know who I am?
Well, I don't know. I don't recognize Allander.
You don't know who I am? Steve.
Well, I could guess Edna because the voice kind of sounds like Edna.
Okay, there you go. I had to know you know my voice.
Am I right?
One and only.
All right. Well, I'm used to seeing Tarboro under your name. All right. Well, y'all take care. We'll see you next time.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.